Hello and welcome to Bruce Springsteen Guitar Lessons. Today's lesson is going to be Bruce's Blinded by the Light, as this is the acoustic version from VH1 Storytellers. Thanks to Tom Hill and Gary Hudson for the request. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon for notifications. Also be sure to follow to the end of the video just in case I go through any parts or suggestions of how to play parts that aren't in the walkthrough. So what I'll do is play the whole song now, then come back and go through all the individual parts. So see you in a bit. Hello and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that walkthrough. So now what I want to do is go through all the individual parts. Okay, so I've based this version on the VH1 Storytellers acoustic version. So I hope you like it. I'll probably come back and do the actual album version at some point as well. Okay, so this song, the first thing to remember is it's in open E flat tuning. So you're tuning the guitar to an E flat chord basically. So it means you can strum all the strings and it sounds an E flat chord, which is awesome. The song's in E flat major as well. So what you've got is E flat, B flat, E flat, G, B flat, and E flat. Cool, so what I'm going to do first is I'll go through the chords. Okay, so again, this is my own version, my own take on what he's doing there. He, again, with a lot of his strumming, he tends to improvise a lot on the spot. So what I've decided to do is kind of get a few kind of core strumming patterns that you can use all the way through, and you can feel free to change it around, or if you don't like them, you can just use the chords and so on. So yeah, he does change things a lot. For example, at the end of the song, the verse, he's kind of does things like that where he adds his first finger on the G string. So you can do things like that as well. Cool, so I'm going to go through what I think are the main chords. So what you've got is the first chord. This is after the intro. You've got this kind of E flat, so 4th fret E, and then 5th fret B, because that's coming out of the intro. So that's the first E flat. Now the normal E flat is simply just all the open strings. Okay, so you're going to use that for pretty much all the other E flats, apart from the very first one in the first verse. So I think he starts with that before going on to the next sort of chord. So that's kind of two versions of the E flat chord. And then I think he's doing this A flat add 9 over C, which is again a funny chord title, but I think it sounds absolutely sensational. It's really nice chord. So this is in the song structure, which I'll put up in a bit. I'll just refer to that as A flat add 9, okay? So it's so fret-wise, 2nd fret A, 1st fret G, block out the E string, and it's a really nice chord. You use it a lot in this song. So A flat add 9 over C, okay? Okay, and then you've got A flat over C, but for me, I think he's doing it occasionally where he's putting his 3rd finger just on the 2nd fret of the B strings. That's the only change really. It's quite simple. Again, it's that tuning, and there's really nice lush open chords that sound, just make it sound really cool. So that's the A flat over the C. Okay, I think that's, and then you've got C minor in the chorus as well, which is this. So he does that in, we'll come across that, go through that in a second. So that's 2nd fret A, and then open strings, open D, open G, 2nd fret B, and then the E string as well. So that's the C minor, so you do that in the chorus. And the other one, I think it's called, we'll call this B flat 7 sus 4. Don't be too concerned about the chord names. The chord names suggest they're a lot harder to play than they actually are. Okay, it's just because of the tuning that you get those funny chord names. So B flat 7 sus 4 is where it's like you've got the A flat add 9, and all you're doing is moving the middle finger to the D string and then strumming from the open A string. So that's B flat 7 sus 4. And we first see that in the first chorus. Okay, so that's the chords. Cool, so what I'm going to do is go through that kind of fiddly intro riff, okay? And this is a 6-bar riff, and this is, again, this will be slightly different to the album version. This is just, I'm basing this on what Bruce does in the VH1 Storytellers. So you're coming in on the of 4, so that's 4E and So 4E and the 12th fret B, and then the 12th fret E string. So, and then you've got this 1E and 1E and. So you're hitting the 12th fret B, the 12th fret E, hammer onto the 14th fret B, and then hitting that 14B and 12E. So you got this. So that's the first kind of 4 sort of notes. And then the beat 2, you count this as 2E and it's this. 2E and okay, so 2E and okay, so do that again. So 2 E, so that's a pull off. So the first one's a hammer on, the second one's a pull off. So 1 E and so 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and then you bar the 7th fret and the B and the E, and then beat 3 you got this 3 E and 4 E and so you got this kind of same technique, 7th fret, just hammer on to the 9th fret B, make sure you got the 7th fret E ringing nicely, so 3 E and 4 E, that's a pull off, and then 2 mutes. Okay, so I'll show you that again. So it comes in on beat 4, the of 4, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and okay, you can add some 16th notes or mutes in there as well, so I think that's roughly how it goes. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and okay, then the next bar, you can bar it or play it separately. So 5th fret B, 5th fret E, so 1 E and so you got 1 E, then mute, and then you're doing 4 E, 5 B. So, and then you've got, again, so it's quite a fiddly semi-quaver riff. So if you're not comfortable with semi-quavers, take this nice and slowly. Okay, so 1 E and 1 E and so 1 E and that's the first beat, and then 2 E and 2 E and okay, so 1 E and 2 E and that's beats 1 and 2, and then you've got 3 E and 3 E and, so 2nd fret, you can bar that, the B and the E, and you're going 3 E and 4 and so it's pretty much how it sounds when it's sped up. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and so you're getting this semi-quaver strumming going. Okay, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and cool. So that's pretty much the first 3 bars. Again, the first bar is you're only playing 1 note at the end of it. Okay, so you've got this so far. Cool. And then you've got it's kind of a weird, he's doing this little slide, kind of bluesy kind of slide thing. So it's 4th, this is the 4th bar, 4th fret B, 3rd fret E, so it's going like this, 1 E and so picking this wide down, up, so 1 E and so you've got a slide there as well, 1 E and 1 E and 2 and it's got this. Okay, that makes sense. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. So the beats 3 and 4, quite straightforward. 3 E and 4 and. Down, up, down, up, down, down. So that bar again, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. And he does that for 3 bars. I think he might be playing some of the open strings as well. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. Okay, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. Cool, and that's the intro riff. So take that nice and slowly. The best way I suggest to do this is do each bit. So for example, each beat, in some of these bars. So the first bar is just got an upstroke right at the end, and then you've got, again, take each beat as it comes. So 1 E and, then 2 E and so, and just do each bit separately. Again, don't forget to use the cog icon in the walkthrough to slow down the tab that's popping in and out, and that will help. A lot of people don't know about that. So again, you can, any YouTube video, click on the cog icon and you can play it at 75%, and that will help you a lot when playing through it. Cool, so that's the main intro riff, and now we've got the chord sequence. So again, just the very first chord, the first verse, because he's come from that, he starts with this version of E flat major, 5th fret B, 4th fret E. And now I've just suggested this 16th note strumming pattern, which will work really well. So the first note is a dotted quaver. Again, this isn't exactly what he's doing, but this will work, and it means you can change it up if you want to, or just use this sort of pattern for the majority of the song. Because otherwise, you know, Bruce is doing something slightly different every time. He's not doing the same thing every time, and he's kind of improvising with his strumming. So this will work really well. So what we've got, 1 E and okay, so that's a dotted quaver, 3 quarters of a beat, 1 E and 2 E and then you've got a semi-quaver tie, and then a semi-quaver, and then a quaver. So 1 E and 2 E and. Okay, I'll show you that again. 1 E and 2 E and. Cool, and then in the next beat, beat 3, we've got a semi-quaver tie, a quaver, and then a semi-quaver. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. So down, up, up, down, up, up. Works really nicely, yeah? So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. And the idea is, sight reading especially, is semi-quavers 1 E and So wherever it comes in that part of the beat determines whether you're going to do a down or upstroke. So 1 and the and, downstrokes E and the It's not always like that, but pretty much a lot of strumming. So, and then beat 4 you've got 4 and So that whole kind of main strumming pattern, you've got 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and Okay, so 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and count it while you're strumming. That's an amazing thing to be able to do. It's not easy, but yeah, it's cool. So the first verse, also what I'm going to do is got the song structure now. So as I say with all my other song structures, I like to keep it as simple as possible. So if you see a chord there, it means that lasts for a whole bar. If you see any chords in brackets, so for example in the first chorus we've got A flat add 9 and then B flat 7 sus 4, that means there's pretty much half a bar of each. It's not always the case, you might have different strumming going on. But in this song, you've got exactly half a bar of A flat add 9 and half a bar of B flat 7 sus 4. And then obviously you just got to look out for some of the lines are done twice, and then we'll go through a few other things as well. So first verse starts with that one. So you've got 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and then that A flat add 9 chord. Add the third finger. Back to your normal E flat. Then for the second round, so rounds 2, 3 and 4, you can just start with a normal E flat. So E flat, A flat at 9, A flat. Cool, now at the end of the first chorus, for that last E flat, he only does it at the end of the first chorus, he does this for the E flat, the final E flat of the first verse, he goes like this. 1 and 2 E and 3. So he just stops it dead. It's going to nicely set up the second verse. So rhythm wise, he's doing this: 1 and 2 E and 3. So 1 and 2 E and 3. Okay, again, don't forget to check the tab. Cool. Second verse is pretty straightforward. So it's just. So you can add things like that he does, like that, add the first fret G string. Cool, now for the first chorus, again, he's changing the strumming quite a lot. So what I've done is just kept it really, I call this a Bob Dylan knocking on heaven's door pattern. It's very similar to what he does in that song. So what we've got is half a bar of A flat add 9. So you've got this 1, 2 and so just works quite nicely. So 1, 2 and 3, 4 and that's A flat add 9, B flat 7 sus 4. So 1, 2 and 3, 4 and then E whole bar of E flat. And then do it again. And now when you do it for the third time, you do the C minor. So second fret A, second fret B. 2 bars of B flat 7 sus 4, 1 bar of A flat at 9, 1 bar of B flat, and then do that line twice. Yeah, so pretty much you've got that main 1 bar riff, and then you've got that kind of what I call knocking on heaven's door pattern, which is the 2-beat pattern in the chorus. Okay. So the A flat add 9 and the B flat 7 sus 2. Cool, so that's the first chorus, then the third verse, same as the second verse, second chorus, same as the first chorus, and then we've got the middle eight section. So the middle eight section, you're just going to do the B flat 7 sus 4 for 2 bars, A flat at 9, E flat. So you do that line 3 times, and then then you basically do it for the 4th time, but on the 4th time, you've got this, okay, so you've got the B flat 7 sus 4, 2 bars, A flat at 9, and you got this, which is kind of how he sets up the 4th verse, which sounds really cool. So you've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, so E flat, 1, 2, and it sounds kind of cool. So that's the end of the middle 8 section. The song structure will be in this description, by the way, so cool. So then you've got the 4th and the 5th verse, same as the other verses, 2nd and 3rd verse. Final chorus, or the 3rd chorus, is exactly the same as the 2nd and the 1st chorus. And then you've got the outro. So the outro is simply just A flat at 9 to E flat. And basically on the 4th time, you kind of does this classic kind of slowing down ending. So you can feel free to, I've just suggested 4 crotchets. So like, you can do something like this. Or whatever, yeah. So just the idea is that you're kind of slowing down, or just do a single strum like that. Cool. So again, he does kind of play around with the strumming quite a lot, especially in the chorus as well. So feel free, if you're not too fond of those strumming patterns, they'll kind of work. And the idea is you can just use pretty much 2 strumming patterns for most of the song, and then you just got to learn the intro riff. So hopefully that all makes sense. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll see you next week. Thanks so much. Cheers for watching.